What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah, check it out. Once again, Uncle Rom talk. Many men are clueless as to how grimy it is out here. How grimy, just terrible. I'm gonna tell you what. I don't really have sympathy for the men either, but it's still a real issue. Now, it's ironic how I came across this. I was going to do a body game video, you know. When it's all said and done, I need some. I do a body game video. Hey, everybody chime in and everything. But check it out. Y'all remember the legendary booty warrior, Fleece Johnson. And I put a link to the infamous clip that he had. I mean, he was parodied on the Boondocks and everything. Well, dude been out of prison. And this young dude caught up with him and been doing some videos with him. I'll put a link to that channel in the description box. So I've been checking out some clips, and he's an interesting individual. Also a testament to a jacked up system, but I don't get into political conversations. Trust me, if I got into that, I would have 1 million subs. And increase surveillance by alphabet agencies. Anyway, right? But he was talking it was like in one clip. And I even shared that clip where, Fleecy, that dude gay and proud. Even though he married to a woman now, right? But he said when he was in prison, he actually had sex with a female guard. Or Janice something. I think she was a guard or something, right? And he was kind of coerced. I'll let him tell you. I'll share that clip. It was kind of coerced and everything, right? So, but he still did it. I mean, he is who he is, right? So, okay. But then I saw some comments, and they were like, he lying, he telling the truth, that ain't happened. And I was like, shook my head. Now, you don't have to like what he did, shouldn't like what he did and everything. Should have some real issues with it. But the shit happens. And I thought about that, me. Well, hopefully y'all know me. A little thing makes me think about bigger things. Look at the bigger picture about some things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm back on Aberdeen Proving Ground. Just dropped my sons off. I'm saying I'm going to have to drive slow around here. The military popo might slow me down because everybody else driving slow. So I said, okay, I'll drive slow. But anyway, right? I was thinking about it on a bigger scale. One of the saddest things I see out here is a lot of men are just basically clueless about real life, the grimier side of life. That's why even when I get detractors, if I even bother to engage them, my first question would be, what street you from? That's why I said, and I've said before, I've said several times, if you really want to get red-pilled, like move to a poor neighborhood, sell all your stuff, move to a poor neighborhood in a city you don't know anybody, and in a year you're either going to be red-pilled or dead. And I meant that shit. Because everything Fleece was saying, I was like, oh, yeah. Kind of shrugged and stuff. See, understand. I worked in the criminal justice system. Like one of my first major internship was as a diagnostic probation unit. Diagnostic probation actually recommended sentencing. So I've sat in jail cells jail visiting rooms with some people, some men, and looked them dead in the eye and said, oh yeah, I'll give you 5 years. I'll recommend 5 years. But, I knew what was going on, just being in the system, period. Just in that system, just from my angle. And people who've actually been in the system can tell you worse. And it really is, all it is a microcosm of what goes on in the real world. Isn't that some pretty shit? And see, I would see people say stuff about, they ain't telling the truth on stuff like that. But then other things as well. They don't think that happened, or women wouldn't do that, or women doing this. I'm like, what planet y'all on? What fucking planet you on? Because there's a lot of shit out here that's happening. It's some real shit. I mean, I only shared just a little bit of it. But even then get challenged on it. Say, oh, women wouldn't do that. And I immediately know whoever's saying that, A, has never been in any streets. B, I'm gonna play the race card. Probably some like white nerdy dude. I'm just gonna play the race card. I tell the black and brothers that the same thing, and like some white boys who've been in like some rougher areas, they like it. I mean, you know. Shit. But it's always the same. You know, those types, plus some types who would be disparagingly called Oreos or bananas, or I'm not sure what they call the ones who are Hispanic. But anyway, yeah, I'm just being real. Don't be offended, but I'm just saying some real world shit. And it's just Gully. And I'm looking at him, I was like, that happens all the time. Because like when dude talking about doing something with a female security guard, he was like, yeah, he gotta suck his dick. You know, kind of coerced her, but still happened. And he, like I said, he's married now, but that's nothing. Because I've personally, please, there's stories about like female security guards, prison guards sleeping with inmates. Shoot, I remember years ago in Baltimore, there was this guy, I can't think of his name, but that dude had gotten like four female security guards pregnant. He ain't just had sex with them. I mean, he emptied nut in them. There's a lot of shit that go on there. In fact, I have a friend, lady friend, some of my private people, she just did a webinar with her. She had actually mentioned during the after show of that webinar, she had been in that, had worked in that system. She could probably have a ton of stories. But it happens. And like I said, this is bigger than just that thing. There's a lot of stuff that happens that's not being talked about, or it might be talked about, just not in this particular section. Somebody's talking about it. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of things happening, who people are having sex with. Because I thought about this young lady I knew, very attractive. In fact, and I ain't gonna give her information away too much, but I'll just say, I ain't gonna say where I know her from, but let's just say it was a certain social circle. And I remember a lot of guys would see her and they thought she was the most like innocent, repressed type of woman, how she dressed, how she presented herself. And I'm gonna tell you what, with her, she had been through some stuff. Because the shit's happening out here. Because I remember she looked all innocent, but I never forget what she said to me one time, talking about how she could work somebody's a man's dick and shit, doggy style, and what she would do. But this particular young lady, what the fuck? Dude, it's a one-lane road, right, on the other side. Some dude was driving, he almost skidded off into the woods, just to get past someone. Shit. Man, it's been some crazy stuff. This astrologer I'm acquainted with, she said, I forgot what she said, some conjunction or something. I was like, damn. Almost saw a car run into another car, like just blatantly ran the light, almost got hit the other day. But anyway, talking about that young lady, she casually said she had engaged in adult incest. I mean, it's just jacked up. It's a lot of shit's happening that's not being talked about. Hell, I would even say it's an aspect of the shadow world what's not being talked about. Because it's bigger than just some like sex parties or even cheating. It's just what's not being said. And a lot of it's just grimy. People be making assumptions about shit or in some fairy tale about shit. A lot of men, too many men. And it hurts them. I mean, you know, it's interesting. We talk about women's, I got into that yesterday, talking about women's unrealistic expectations, their fantasies. There's a lot of men out here who have some fantasy. Because even with that body count thing, it's kind of stupid to even ask. Because the woman ain't going to tell you. And you got some guys thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get that innocent girl who never had sex and only had sex with 2 guys, and she going to be totally loyal to me. That's some fantasy shit. Because on the real, there's some women out here, there's some stuff they'll do, and they'll get married to a guy. They'll get married to a guy, have his babies, hey, pass the paternity test and everything. And they'll still take something with them to their grave. In fact, even how they cheat. That innocent woman, no telling what she doing. She could be like a librarian or something. In fact, I know an acquaintance. They ain't her shit. Some men in her social circle call her the naughty librarian. And she is. You look at her, you like, she wouldn't do anything like that. But this is one of the things of having like female friends who are just totally honest with her. That's one of the things. They tell you whatever. Because, one of the things about my early life, when I was living in Anacostia, you seen all the scuzzy shit. You seen it. I mean, shoot. That's when I don't know what St. Elizabeth is like now. But back then, shit, someone get those day passes, they be out and about. And just in Southeast period. I don't know how much it might have changed, but you just had some scuzzy people. You had to shoot. You had to keep your head on the swivel and everything. But to me, it was normal. Imagine when I went to live with my grandmother, being around some people that didn't understand. In fact, my best buddy, and who I call in my book Nice Guys and Players, called Jim, shoot, he had come from seeing the similar things too. And it's just some grimy shit. I was going to use the word gully, but that's the same term. That's something we use in the DMV area, gully. I don't know where else they use it, but just grimy. You can understand that. It's just ain't no nice shit. But what I'm seeing is a lot of guys, they don't want to believe anything, and I'm like, based on what? Based on what? And yeah, I meant exactly what I said when I said that race part. Black and brown and even white dudes who've been in those areas, they know what the fuck is up. Asian dudes, anybody who's been in those areas, shoot, that's like par for the course. The Pookies and Ray Rays, Bubbas, whatever you want to call it, Enrique's, or whatever term. There'd be a lot of shit happening. A lot of shit. But then you get some guys who come on like this artificial world of social media and like, oh, he said he lying, oh, he ain't telling the truth. Dude, here's the thing. You better understand it. I ain't glorifying any of that shit, because it's crazy. You want to stay away from it, but you need to know about it. You need to know about it. And even even in some areas where you might call it like upper class, upper middle class, oh, there's a dark side there as well. Only thing about them, they keep that shit more under wraps. That's the only thing. That's why if any dude want to mess with some of those women on that level, you better learn some discretion. Ask me how I know. But they be doing some stuff. And then when they want to party or whatever. And in fact, yesterday I was talking about that fantasy of many women thinking they can get a 6-figure guy who's handsome. Now, the most they can get is maybe go to some cheap hotel. He don't even drive his main car. He might not be telling them the real name. And get their ass fucked. And get some deprived motherfucker want to fuck them and shit. And do some vile shit to them that they couldn't do to their surface world wife. But it's there. It's there. And, and I ain't gonna belabor the point, because, like I said, the videos for a bit anyway. Car video is gonna be a bit shorter. Taking my sons to their JOBB. But here's the thing, though. as men, you got to just be realistic about shit. If somebody say shit, I mean, you don't have to believe it right away, but keep an open mind about it. Seriously. You got to keep an open mind. Because, like I said, I decided to do this after seeing a comment on that particular video. I shared the link. At least I think I shared the link. You did so many videos on there, I might have to look for it hard again. I was just like, where you from? This is some normal ass shit. There's a lot of shit be going on. Yeah, that's dipping into the shadow world. There's a lot of shit, but some dudes thinking it, but they're only saying it because they haven't experienced it. And I'm going to tell you what, you got to understand as a man, let me give y'all some game on this. You got to understand because there's a lot of women playing that game. There's a lot of women. They know how to work you. Shoot, there's women out here, they'll have one of these like guys, apple pie type of guys, nice guys who really don't know what's going on. They'll have that man take them to dinner somewhere. Expensive restaurant, right? Have them take them to an expensive restaurant. Listen closely to what I'm saying. They'll go to an expensive restaurant. They'll order a whole lot of shit. And then mysteriously, like, just eat a little bit of it. Say, hey, can we get a doggy bag? And the dude ain't thinking anything. He thinking he ain't impressing her. He probably eat all his meal. And then, he take her back home or something. Give him, she give him a little kiss, maybe a nice little hug. She might even touch her breast to him hugging. Not quite the butt though. She gonna give him that church hug. That friendly hug. She gonna ain't pelvis to pelvis, right? And then as soon as that dude go, she either got her other man already waiting in there. He come downstairs or come out the room, say, hey, what you bring me? She be like, baby, he bought all this for us. Or call him over, got it ready. She might warm that shit up, and some women will warm that shit up and act like she made it. But that's part of all that grimy shit, man. And a lot of men don't understand it. It's like if somebody tell you something, like if somebody like a Fleece Johnson tell you something, you tell them. You get anybody who been on that more grimy side, you just sit and listen. Because actually that's lightweight compared to some shit I've witnessed. Fuck it. Some shit I've witnessed. There's a lot of shit I don't talk about. Witnessed. Not heard about, witnessed, seen. And I know some of y'all seen some of that grimy ass shit. Some grimy ass shit. That's why, like I said, you grow up in certain areas. You in certain communities, you're going to see it. It's like par for the course. There's a lot out there. So, but yeah, as a man, you gotta know, you can't be on some fantasy shit. And you gotta listen. Now, like I said, you don't have to agree with somebody like Fleece. I mean, I wouldn't want them near me. But when you hear anything from guys like that, and they talking, you just sit and listen. They might save your life. Cause shit, you do got situations, some gully situations, women setting up dudes to be robbed and killed. That's happened. So you got to know what's going on. You got to know the gully side of life, the grimy side. And I ain't doing this to scare you. I'm just, look, this is a life lesson. You always got to know. You always got to be paying attention to shit. I remember one woman, she did videos years ago. And I remember she said she go to a bathroom. She be in, have a little son, go to the bathroom. She be talking to him the whole time. She be talking to him the whole time because she said some dudes be in the bathrooms and shit. Hey, that's part of it. You gotta watch out for shit. You gotta pay attention. Shit, there's a lot of predators out there, man. Seriously. And if you don't want to be prey, you gotta know what the fuck is happening. Understand that. Understand that totally. Because trust me, you out here, you be on some fantasy shit like that don't happen. Like I said, you get some women, they'll play a guy just like that. That's why a lot of guys had that rage and everything. They got played. They had that street smarts. Because you gotta, like I said, there's a lot of shit happening. So, anyway, that's all I got for now, yo. I'm gonna get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.